Hello, my name is Mary Burke. I'm an incoming freshman at Seton Hall University, and this is my Martin Luther King Leadership Program project presentation. My program is called South Orange Community Aware, or SOCA, and its purpose is to teach South Orange about local politics, political issues, and how government functions. As far as the data goes back, New Jersey and Essex County have not had a high voter turnout in local elections. Recently, the 2019 local election had only 26% of registered voters cast a ballot in South Orange. These are staggering numbers, which can be changed through education, removing barriers from voting, and informing South Orange. Recently, there has been an increase in political engagement surrounding the Black Lives Matter movement. Without local elections, the changes that are being asked for will not happen. This is why we need to pay attention to who we are choosing to represent us locally. This is the data from Essex County for the 2019 general election. Circled is South Orange. As you can see, all of Essex County's voter turnout is low, but being in South Orange, we can change where we are. 26% of registered voters casting a ballot is not good, but it can be changed. And here is the data for the 2019 primary election, where you can see Essex County had only 6% of eligible voters cast a ballot. SOCA will have monthly meetings discussing political issues facing us today, like climate change and the Black Lives Matter movement, government knowledge like who our local representatives are and what they do, or even how Congress works. We would also discuss basics like how to vote, how to register, and where polling places are in South Orange. These are all issues which can deter someone from voting, so I hope if we take these barriers out of the way, we see an increased voter turnout. I also hope this program can hold town halls for local officials at the meetings and invite guests and other representatives of New Jersey. I'm friends with the Deputy Chief of Staff for Congresswoman Bonnie Watson Coleman, who represents the 12th District of New Jersey in the House of Representatives. Having her speak would provide some insight into what the issues facing Congress are now and what they're doing to fix them. Closer to elections, we would ramp up the Get Out to Vote initiative. We would knock door to door seeing if anyone needs help getting to the polls, and if they do, connect them with the New Jersey program which does that. We'd have registration stations outside of community centers like senior centers or municipal buildings. Here, we'd be able to have people register right there on the street so they're not rejected on election day. We would also create pamphlets listing the polling places in South Orange and how to get a mail-in ballot or register to vote. Last, we would increase the meetings from once a month to twice a month. Students in the MLK Leadership Program would be the ones sparking the discussions, handing out brochures, and leading the effort to get people out to vote. We would also reach out to local and federal representatives to join us for meetings and hold town halls. If many students were interested in participating in the program, a different student can lead discussions or introduce guests each month. The function of SOCA will be to increase the voter turnout in South Orange local elections, inform the community about politics and their elections, and make the voices of South Orange heard. With these, South Orange will see positive change coming soon. The purpose of the program is, as I said before, inform voters and educate the public, and create a stronger community built off of everyone's ideals. Without voting, your voice will not be heard. Voting is everyone's chance to change their community for the better. The target audience for this program is two main groups, young people and senior citizens. As the data shows, young people don't vote. There are many factors that go into that, whether it's they forgot to register, or they're in a new state for college and there are different rules they need to follow, or even simply they're not interested in politics. But the bottom line is, young people don't show up to the polls in the numbers they should. With someone on the street holding a registration sheet in front of them, they can be reminded to register and even register then and there. The second group, senior citizens, many times need a mail-in ballot but don't know how to get one, or need help getting to the polls but don't have someone to take them, or even they have just never voted before. We can be the people to connect them with someone who can bring them to the polls, or even give a form to request a mail-in ballot. We would, of course, also welcome anyone who's interested in politics and would just like to learn about how it works. My hope for this program is that it will have a big impact. It'll increase voter turnout, make South Orange a community aware of its representatives and when and where its elections are, and create positive change for South Orange. I would measure this by looking at the polling data after each election on the New Jersey State website and see if there has been an increased voter turnout. I would also look at the number of registered voters each year and the ratio of eligible voters to the number of people registered to vote and see if both of these have increased. Last, we would make sign-in sheets for each meeting and see if people are coming back or if our attendance is slipping each meeting and measure our success that way. The most important of these for me is to see positive change for South Orange. If SOCA does its job, after a couple elections, South Orange could see major change. There would not be many expenses for this program. The main expense would be a place to hold the meetings. We would possibly have to rent a space in a community center or a senior center. Depending on the amount of brochures we print, that could be another expense. And last, any Get Out to Vote campaign materials we would need, for example, stickers or buttons or tables to set up registration stations, could cost money. For a social media campaign, I would make accounts for SOCA on all popular social media platforms, including Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Here, we would share important dates to remind the followers of registration deadlines and election dates. To appeal to younger voters, we would create an image people could share on their stories, which shows these important dates, where to find all forms, and other important information. Last, these accounts would share important information and any news. Here's an example of what one of these images would look like. These were the members of the General Assembly up for election in the 2019 election in South Orange. It is all formed in a way which is aesthetically pleasing for young people, and they would hopefully share it on their Instagram stories or Facebook stories. And here's my brochure describing SOCA. This is the first page with the cover, impact, and purpose of the program. This is the second page of the brochure, which describes all the ways SOCA will help the community get involved. Thank you for considering me for this program. I belong in the MLK Leadership Program because of my passion for leadership and service. I have gained leadership skills through my congressional internship, my role as Master of Ceremonies at my church, and many other leadership roles. Although I have had these experiences, I want to learn how to be a better leader and participate in additional volunteer opportunities. I have a passion to serve, which drives me to become a better leader. And I hope the Martin Luther King Jr. Leadership Program can help me to become the best leader I can be. Again, thank you.